ding dong, dong, ding dong, Think, Feel, and Believe 50, 59er, 59er, 59er. Think, Feel, and Believe 59. Are you listening to these videos in succession? Because if you're not, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Think like a book, man. Don't be bop around. You're just causing confusion and chaos. Go to number 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's a reason I'm saying that because okay. That's Alexis telling you. I'm not telling you what to do. Okay. I mean, they're just strongly suggesting it. Make this part of your life like reading a book. And I'll entertain you too. Other things you need to stop. Okay, so getting control of your thought life, getting control of what you're speaking, that's in the trenches, huh? That's in the trenches, huh? It's being in the trenches. That's where you need to start, because if you're ever going to really effectively manifest the things that you really want in your life and the change, I'm telling you, it's a lot more complex than what people will say out there on the surface. There's a little bit more nitty-gritty. There's a little bit more nitty-gritty to it all. And I won't get to positive stuff, and I know we're going to get to that positive stuff, but here's something. Here's something else you need to stop, and that's overthinking. Overthinking about stuff. Because what does overthinking about stuff do? It ain't causing nothing positive. It isn't driving you in a different direction. Now, you need to be responsible about certain things that you're thinking about too. If you're, making a decision and you want to, you want to make sure you weigh all make sure you weigh all of the options and the things and the causes and effect and the stuff that could happen. But the thing about it is that overthinking is one of those things that just usually leads you down a negative path, and then you just sold yourself short from what could have been because you overthought about it too much, and then now you done sold yourself short, done said yourself short, but what could have been, but because you overthought it so much, and when you overthink stuff, fear starts to set in, doubt starts to set in, worry starts to set in. When you overthink about anything, fear, doubt, and worry are going to be the things that are going to follow for overthinking. Now, listen up, Aaron. That's not to say that you're going to be irresponsible and just, I'm not going to overthink it, so I'm not going to. You need to be responsible, okay, and just have particular thoughts about it. But usually, the stuff that comes to you in the decisions, you're better off, and don't make decisions with haste, but you're better off to try to move a little bit more quickly towards making decisions than you are to step it back and you overthink it, because when you're overthinking, then the fear, worry, and doubt sets in, and then usually what is the decision that you make? No, of whatever it is. Because if you overthought it. And when you overthink stuff a lot, and the nature of who you are still depends upon how you act and react to things. It's all about how you act and react to things. And when you react, a lot of it, when you're going to react, you're going to go down a path, and one of the most important things that I think I've ever learned in my life a lot, and it's helped a lot, and I need more work on this in my life too. And that's really just stepping back and allowing myself to think about things a little bit more, detach from feelings and emotion, and detach from the feelings and emotions so that I'm not reacting to situations all the time. Because when you're reacting to stuff, you're usually, it's just like, boom! And, but whatever, and so I think one of the things that, remember I said, when you're overthinking things, that fear and doubt start to set in, fear, doubt, and worry. And because what is it that you're selling yourself short from is listen up closely. The thing that you're selling yourself short from is the change that's going to happen that's synergistically going to meld with where you want to be. But because you're overthinking and then that's basically what's setting yourself up there within that particular thing is people don't like change. Darn straight and dude. People don't like change whatsoever. Everybody likes, everybody wants to go with kind of like the status quo. Nobody likes change. I mean, gosh, think about the political stuff that's going on in our world right now and the change that's happening. And it's just making people lose their minds because of all the change that's taking place and all. If people could just kind of step back and think, feel, and believe differently about that and then let the change happen. I mean, whatever. You could get into arguments over that with people. Big. Well, what he's doing is... No, the majority of most of it is because of fear of change. People don't want change. They want it to be all the same. They want to create... There are people that are more into negativity and the bondage of everything that holds everybody down and holds everybody back and suppresses them. But... be different if they were all thought, felt, and believed differently about it, but people don't want change either. So, we're getting old of all thought life, hell. There's a lot of things out there that, that we talked about in the last video, in 58 that you need to stop. And if you watching these videos in the section, you know that you need to stop and you need to stop, and part of what you're doing there with that particular thing is, overthinking stuff. Oh my gosh, just the thought about people and how they're overthinking everything that's going on in our world today. Overthinking all of that, and it's caught. And there's a lot of change, and they don't want to do that. But what we are talking about is you. What we're talking about is you. Overthinking, fear, doubt, and worry sets in because you don't want to deal with any kind of change. And you know what? Change is not easy, right? And I could sit there and say, gosh, to even say those words, that change is not easy, and then if you're a person that continuously repeating change is just not easy. Well, change is so hard. Change is just not easy. Change is just not hard and change is just not easy. Change is just not hard and change is just not easy, And I stopped myself. I'm like, wait, and I stopped myself even saying stuff like that because, I don't even want to say it, but, change is difficult. Or you speak differently and you say change is easy. I welcome change because change is for the better in the long run. Period. Change is better in the long run. In the long run, it is. It's the immediate aspect of the upheaval or the faith, the step in faith that you have to take, What holds people back from taking those steps in faith towards things and just accepting change and embracing it? What? Is they overthink it. So you need to stop overthinking things, because how you think, feel, and believe about that and, what you're overthinking is doing that. And the only thing you're doing when you're overthinking is you're just inviting the negativity and you're inviting, the lack of confidence that you need. I mean, you're inviting a lot of the things that are just really creating, for the most part, a negative result. So, and why, fear of the change that's going, if you have to stop doing that. And, it's kind of interesting how some people would rather wallow in the negativities of their life rather than stop doing some of the things that they need to so that you can put yourself in a better direction. And if you just listen about putting yourself in a better direction, that's where you need to be. And you know what? There's going to be some challenge. There's going to be some challenge. No doubt about that. There's going to be some challenge. But, overthinking, inviting negativity, fear and doubt, fearing change, it's not so good. It's not so good. Because when you do want to manifest those positive things in your life, stuff's going to change. So you got to fix where the most of everything's happening now, and that's the negative. Yep.